how to become a novelist in the time of AI, how to start as a writer in the time of AI. And this is a great question, because a lot of people are very afraid that they won't be able to stand out, or that they're competing against swaths of submissions that are now coming in that is just bullshit generated, right? And they're not wrong. There is, since 2020, there has been an insane uptick of people who are writing or trying to professionally write, trying to get their work published. And of course, this is in relation to people having more downtime, people being at home, people having more, being inside, right? But now the issue isn't just that, where people have the time. It's that people have these plagiarism tools that they think they can just be like, oh, I've got a little idea, I'm gonna, plop it into something and now I'll be famous. And here's the thing about that. Long term, these people cannot be successful, okay? These things are not going to be successful. Most people who actually read, professionals who actually work with real writing and real human authors, you can feel that something is devoid of a soul. It might feel like so impossible and so daunting right now because there's sort of this new boogeyman that's come into the picture. But there's always going to be these boogeymans. They will always come in. This will always happen throughout the entire world of writing, and there's going to be something that comes through that tries to barrier real human writers, real artists, real novelists. There's always going to be something, and you can't let it stop you, and you can't get so paranoid about it that you don't let yourself begin. As far as practical things that people, I think, are like, how does someone not think that I'm one of these weird assholes who lies about the work they do? It's sort of like anything else, okay? You gotta have a timeline of evidence. Like with anything else, when you're meeting a new person, you don't know if you can trust them. When you're vibing out a new job, you don't just go off of face value, right? You have to see it over time and see how you feel about it. And so all this to say, with you in your writing, keep putting out work. Keep writing more work. Develop your style. People will start to absorb your work and start to see that it is you, and that this is the work that you make, and they will familiarize themselves with your voice, and you'll start to develop a group of people who appreciate and love and stand behind the work that you do over time. Even without this factor in the AI factor in the picture, this is how it always is for artists. People, to some extent, you rely on a backlog. You're not just it is very rare for you to just magically poof onto the scene with one work and everyone all of a sudden is overnight like you're this superstar. That's not really how it works. People start to slowly pick up what you're doing after you've been in the game for a minute. It's I don't like to, when people, the phrase, it's a lifestyle or whatever. It's not a lifestyle, it's an identity. This is who you are. And if you know this is who you are, lean into who you are. Let yourself be this. If you don't know, if you're someone who's like, well, I know I'm an artist, but I don't know if I'm a writer, you can still let yourself see. Let yourself try. Devote yourself to learning. Devote yourself to putting in the practice. And not only that, put in the practice of the craft and getting work actually done, but put in the practice of publishing your work, sending out your work to magazines, sending out your work to agents. So aside from the first mountain of climbing of how to learning your craft and how to write and actually writing and actually finishing work, is the next piece is getting it into the world, and that's its own very big mountain in itself. So it can be really daunting and really terrifying and frightening. And these people who do AI slop, they think they can just cut past the first two mountains of learning the craft and actually doing the work and writing pieces that are unique to them and that are their own actual art. They think they can just shortcut it and be like, okay, I'm gonna get published. I'm trying to think of other examples throughout time that's like very clearly, machines don't actually replace us. Whether it's like in film, whether it's like special effects or If it's like a person doing a stunt in a film versus completely CGI, they're gonna reward and recognize the stunt person for like, holy shit, like you did all that. That's so cool. They're not gonna look at the CGI and think that that's better than the in terms of like the gravity of what has been done. They're gonna know that the person who did that, like actually physically did it, they're a superstar. The machine or the technology, that's just a program. Like, we get it. That's to whatever. It's cool, yeah, okay. But we still recognize the incredible, astounding, amazing contributions of humans. And I'm trying to think of other good examples. Please tell me some that you can think of, because for some reason I'm not like coming up with a lot right now. But all I'm trying to say is that no, even if technology does stuff that's cool, a human doing stuff that's cool is always cooler, because we know that they put in work. You want to be a writer and you're worried about being compared to or being accused of, even if you're worried about being accused of, I've seen people who talk about things like keeping handwritten notes and handwritten drafts. I don't think you have to do all that, but if you're really worried about it, fine. But here's what I will claim, and this might be bold, but this is what I think. I think if you're truly doing it and you're really actually pouring your soul into the work that you write, and people can pick up like what you do, and they can feel your voice and they can feel your contributions, you're not gonna, people are gonna know you're doing it. They're gonna know it's you. It's gonna be fine. I feel like this is like a big scare tactic, maybe even to suppress people's actual art from going into the world, because there's sort of this fear-mongering of like, well, you won't make it anyway, robots are taking over. They're not. You're gonna be fine. Please keep writing. Please do your art. Real people who read this, and real professionals who are working with real people, they know that you are putting in this work if you're actually doing it. So do it. Keep doing it. Don't expect it to happen immediately. Don't expect and don't expect the worst. Give yourself the freedom to know that if this is who you are and this is what you're meant to do, that you're meant to do it. Again, back to the practical stuff, you can keep like actual hard copy stuff that you have put in that are your own thoughts and that are your own drafts. You can email drafts to yourself constantly. I'd recommend doing that just for safety reasons. You never know. Technology is weird. Stuff glitches. Stuff gets lost. So if you just email yourself every time you finish like a writing session, email yourself a copy of that, updated, saved version of whatever you just did, so that there's some kind of trail of like, so that serves as like a trail that you've been working on, but also it serves as like a foolproof way to be like, okay, I have a copy of this laying somewhere if some crazy thing happens and I don't ever see this tablet I'm using again. Other things, honestly, is just being human, sharing your human experience. Even if you don't write nonfiction, even if you don't put yourself into your work that much or that heavily, it'll come through. Your soul will come through, your ideas will come through, your thoughts will come through, your feelings will come through. People will know it's you. People will start to recognize your brilliance and ingenuity and your unique gifts for the world. People will know. It's going to be okay. Don't let this worry you. Don't even let this live in your head. Just focus on the work you have to do and the amazing stories you have to write, and make them happen. Bring them to us. The world needs your work. So please keep writing.